Good evening and welcome to the Gaming Kin podcast. I usually say good evening because, I'm saying good evening this time because I've been streaming occasionally since the last podcast, and I usually do it at night, so it's usually good evening. But we usually start the podcast with hello because you might be listening in the morning. So hello and welcome to the Gaming Kin podcast. As always, I am your host Jack, and Marc again is not with me for this. And someone's just came in the door. Marc's still not with me. He's still studying for his finals at university. We record this on the Saturday. His exam is on the Monday, so he does need to study, spend his last few days studying, and we still wish him the best. So because there's no Marc and it's just myself, I don't really like doing the topics that way. I like getting Marc's opinion and, like I said last time, bouncing the ideas off of each other and sharing opinions and maybe changing each other's opinions a wee bit based on how we see it, or even keeping the same opinions, but just learning how each other or maybe other people might see things. So we'll just jump straight into the news, I guess. First up is the Dark Souls remaster for Nintendo Switch. It's not going to make its previously scheduled May 25th release date. The publisher Bandai Namco have announced that it has been rescheduled to summer 2018. This Solera Vistora amiibo has also been delayed to match the release, the Switch version's new release window. PlayStation 4, PC and Xbox One versions are still on schedule for the original release date. Bandai Namco said on their Twitter account, due to the nature of causality, we must announce that the Nintendo Switch version of Dark Souls Remastered will be pushed back to summer of 2018 with the release of the Solera Vistora amiibo. They said on the official Dark Souls Twitter account. PC, PS4, Xbox One versions will maintain their May 25th release date. Rest assured, this time will ultimately be used to improve your journey to Lordran. So it's not clear why the Switch version has been pushed back, because the game was recently shown hands-on at PAX East. So it seems to be in a stable state where they're happy to show it. It was probably just a wee bit of extra polish, and it shouldn't be anything to worry about. Dark Souls Remastered was announced in January. The remaster from Software's 2011 game promises improved resolution and frame rate, as well as a handful of quality of life improvements. Also, next up, we have a update on Monster Hunter World, about the new Elder Dragon that you can fight in that. Players will have to coordinate on a larger scale if they want to take on the new in-game event, which is a battle with the Golden Elder Dragon Kulve Taroth. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's the latest creature to join the ever-growing Monster Hunter universe. The battle is part of the game's new siege quests. Players must split off into separate hunting parties, which hold up to 4 at the same time, from the same gathering hub to investigate and repel the shimmering beast, which means up to 16 players can do this quest at the same time. The announcement of it was light on details, although it does stress the event is a limited affair. It started April 18th, 10 days ago at 5 at 5 Pacific time, 8 Eastern, which over here in the UK I think is about midnightish. But new monsters also mean new gear. Not only are both male and female hunters getting extremely shiny armor, but the palico armor is some kind of golden feathery getup. Yep, it's looking to be something. It's bringing some bling to the game, to be fair. So yeah, let's. I'm looking forward to watching some streams or some videos of people taking that on once I've finished this up. We got news about Black Ops 4, and that is that it won't contain a traditional single player story mode. However, these are not confirmed. These are speculation. However, it does seem quite likely the way things are moving. As the release date has approached, it's become evident that development on the single player campaign won't be completed, or wouldn't be completed. One source said Treyarch has since focused Black Ops 4's development on expanding multiplayer and the always popular zombies mode. There's also been talk of them putting in a Battle Royale mode. I mean, the Battle Royale games have been particularly popular of late, and I'm not surprised that we might be seeing Battle Royale seeping into Black Ops 4, because another related news article on that is DICE are prototyping a Battle Royale mode in the Battlefield 5 engine. However, they've said, we've not been told whether they're going to put a Battle Royale mode into Battlefield. And if they do, it'll probably be in 6, but they are prototyping it. They are looking at the option of doing that. Black Ops 4 comes out on May 17th. They're revealing Black Ops May 17th. It's not being released. It's scheduled for release October 12th this year on PS4, Windows and Xbox. In esports news, the National Federation of State High Schools, the United States primary leadership organization for high school sports like football and water polo, is getting into esports. They write the rules for 17 sports played by 7.9 million students in more than 19,500 American high schools, and will soon add video games. MOBA, sports and fighting games are in that list. No specific titles have been named, but we have learned that the shooter category, including popular games like CSGO and Fortnite, have been specifically excluded from the program. First-person shooter games, we believe, do not fit in with the education mindset that we are hoping to bring to this activity, said Marc Koski, CEO of the NFHS network, in a joint venture between the NFHS and Play On Sports to broadcast high school sporting events online. We've continued to track esports over the last 18 months and believe that the timing is perfect for us. We know esports isn't just up and coming, it's here. We believe that if we can have a partner with an esports focused company to help facilitate this, it is much better for students to be behind the education walls between the hours of 2:30 and 5:30 versus being at their home or at their friend's home. They've partnered with a startup group called PlayVS to build the digital infrastructure needed to support high school esports. Later this year, that will enable students to compete in official state championship competitions and be recognised by their state athletic associations. That exposure could ultimately lead to recruitment efforts by colleges and universities, some of which are actively seeking out esports talents. So it is sounding like because I heard that they were doing this over in Korea and in Japan and China, and I heard of a parent who took their kid out of school up in Sweden to become a professional esports player. So seeing the US get involved in this is pretty cool. I'm just kind of hoping to see the UK, where I'm from, get involved in this, because that would be really cool to see. Because esports is becoming such a bigger thing, and I do think that it can only get better, esports, because there are so many different types of games. There are so many different games in each type, in each genre, and as long as it has some sort of multiplayer or PvP, it should be fantastic to see. Capcom recently attempted to revitalise the Puzzle Fighter series as a free-to-play mobile game, and it's not gone so well apparently. The publisher announced today that Puzzle Fighter for Android and iOS will shut down permanently on July 31st. Puzzle Fighter launched worldwide in November, meaning that the game's only been going for about 5 months. Capcom said it will pull the game from the app stores on July 1st, with game servers being shut down at the end of that month. They will also end in-app purchases on Monday, April 23rd, so Monday just passed. For existing players, Capcom is handing out 10,000 in-game gem currency, and making characters Regina from Dino Crisis, Dr. Wily from Mega Man, and Ada Wong from Resident Evil available for free. The company has also dropped Puzzle Fighter soundtrack on SoundCloud. Capcom Vancouver, who developed Puzzle Fighter, is moving on from the mobile game to dedicate its focus on Dead Rising, and Capcom has not initially announced a new Dead Rising game, but reports from Kotaku earlier this year indicated the studio was working on a sequel. And its most recent entry, Dead Rising 4, was released in 2016. Nintendo has revealed the first details about its E3 2018 plans, which largely focus around one game, which is Super Smash Bros. For the Switch. The annual E3 Direct presentation will air Tuesday, 12th of June, 9 AM their time, kicking off the event week with a look at several upcoming games. Just as Super Mario Odyssey was the primary focus last year, Smash Bros. Will receive the most screen time this year. Nintendo Treehouse Live, the company's gameplay-focused event that traditionally follows the presentation, will begin once the Direct presentation wraps up. First on its list is live footage from Smash Bros, according to the company. Once the show floor opens that same day, attendees will get a chance to play Smash Bros for themselves, with an event open to the public again this year. It won't just be to members of the press who will get to take Smash Bros for a spin. So if you're going there, expect long lines and wait times for that demo. But it's not all about Smash Bros, of course. Nintendo has hinted its booth will also feature upcoming unnamed third-party titles, and don't be surprised if planned 2018 releases like Fire Emblem and Yoshi for the Switch are there as well. Just a reminder that E3 2018 does run from June 12th through to June 14th, and we here at Gaming Kin will be watching the live streams. We'll be reading everything we can on places like Kotaku, Polygon, IGN, Rock Paper Shotgun, and we will be bringing as much as we can to you over that week. We will be doing podcasts from the Monday to the Saturday, and bringing you news from E3 through the week, and on the Saturday we will bring you news that may have slipped under the radar or was not E3 related. Further in Nintendo news, Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima will step down from his position at the end of June, the company announced alongside its latest financial earnings report. Kimishima will retire from office as of June 28th. pending shareholder approval, of course, according to a company release. At the time, his replacement will assume the title of Representative Director and President. That person is Shuntaro Furukawa, who currently runs Nintendo's global marketing department. He has been with Nintendo since 1994 and worked in other roles throughout his tenure. He is also the Pokemon Company's outside director and Nintendo's managing executive officer. The financial report was on not Thursday there, but the Thursday before this podcast goes live, and Nintendo said it had sold 10.4 million copies of Super Mario Odyssey, which launched at the end of October. The earnings report covers the fiscal year ending March 31st, so it doesn't include the amazing Nintendo Labo hardware, which only launched like a week ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago now. PlayStation Plus. Sonic Mania Plus is the expanded edition of last year's retro-style platformer, which will launch on July 18th. Sega has announced, alongside the release date for Nintendo Switch, PS4, PC and Xbox. The company released a trailer that features some animation from Tyson Hesse. He was the artist behind the original Sonic Mania's best trailer, which revamped Sonic, Tails and Knuckles to look far more anime than we've seen them before. He's continued to illustrate the characters for short films and comic book covers. Sonic Mania is also going to, the trailer makes the animated debut of two other characters, Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel. They were in the original Sega Sonic, an arcade-only Sonic game. So yeah, that's coming. Sonic Mania Plus will also have features like updated time trials and an encore mode that changes up level layouts. People who currently own Sonic Mania can buy encore mode content separately for about £4. And last two items are H1Z1 is coming to the PS4. H1Z1 is a battle royale shooter created by Daybreak Games, and it's got an open beta kicking off May 22nd. The PS4 version will diverge from its PC counterpart, which was officially released earlier this year after a long time in early access, with a new weapon progression system, fully worked UI, new weapons and gear. Daybreak Games have emphasised the speed of play in H1Z1's console port, saying in an announcement that H1Z1 now features a grab-and-go equipment system, simplifying loot collection and inventory management, a familiar radial weapon menu so players can quickly switch between guns and grenades, a revamped HUD that delivers vital information at a glance, and the crafting system has also been removed from the game. The revamped console weapon progression mechanic lets players loot 6 level 1 weapons at the start of the match. To get better gear, players will have to hunt down airdrops. Mass airdrops are released throughout the map, through which players pick up many familiar weapons like the AK and the AR, as well as the new KH-43, Marauder, Combat Shotgun, CNQ-09 Scout Rifle and the MK-46. Airdrops serve as a primary way to secure higher powered armour, which has been retooled to provide players with a health bonus. Daybreak will hold a closed beta, held a closed beta on PS4 for H1Z1 over the weekend. The developer is currently selling a £40 pre-order bundle with some cosmetic items. When H1Z1 debuted in 2015, it had multiple game modes, including a DayZ-style persistent open-world survival game and Battle Royale. The Last Man Standing mode was designed with the help of Brendan PlayerUnknownGreen, who would go on to create PUBG. Since H1Z1's launch, it has been split into two different games, H1Z1 and H1Z1 King of the Hill, which retained the Battle Royale mode, while H1Z1 Just Survive went forward with the open world game mode. H1Z1 King of the Hill was renamed H1Z1, and H1Z1 Just Survived was named to Just Survive. And we'll finish with some more Nintendo news. Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus now has a release date. It is June 29th. Bethesda's once again partnered with Austin, Texas-based Panic Button to bring one of their publishers' games to the Switch. Panic Button also handled the Switch port of ID Software's Doom, which released back in November. The port of Doom struggles to maintain 720p HD resolution even when docked, and performance sometimes drops below 30 FPS, which is half the frame rate of the other versions. But the general consensus that is a technical marvel that Doom can run on the Switch at all, and since Wolfenstein 2 runs on the same engine as Doom, fans have some idea what to expect with the Switch port when it comes out. So yeah, it's maybe a wee bit laggy, maybe a bit framey, but it should be fun to play still. So yeah, that is us for today. Again, just another short news-only podcast. Thank you for listening. Hopefully next time Marc will be back, and hopefully he'll have some good banter for us. We will be talking about remasters, and we're going to be looking at licensed music and video games. We'll have some other topics coming up. I'm also working on a project on our YouTube channel where I will be looking at the history of video games based on the nickname that Marc gave me a couple of podcasts ago, the Video Game Historian. That is the title of the series. We're going to cut it down into seasons where we talk about different things within video games. So video game franchises or series, a specific video game, publishers, developers, consoles, and the history behind them, and their legacy, and what we can expect from them in the future if it's something that's still active. Hopefully, it will work. It will be a good series. The first season of it is my favourite game franchise, Final Fantasy, for which I'm currently writing about 17 episodes for. Some series will be longer, some will be shorter. It just depends on how much there is to talk about, because I don't want to do all of it in one video and then have to miss things out. So hopefully we'll have more updates on that for you soon. Hopefully Marc will be back. We'll have some banter, some topics for you, and some more news in a fortnight's time. So thank you for listening, and as always, there's always room for you here at Gaming Kin if you want to be our friend. Stay safe out there.